I'm expecting a 15 to 16 hour rainstorm.
The absolute lap of luxury that I'm sleeping on tonight.
On a handful of partridge berries right here.
Beautiful piece of chaga. Woo! That's living right there.
All right, there's the shot.
Look at that fat on there. Cotton doesn't kill, it's the inability to get a fire and get warm and get dry that kills.
It is coming down.
My name is Joshua Enyart. I'm the head instructor at the Gray Bearded Green Beret Survival School. I'm a former Army Ranger and Green Beret. I've got over 3 decades of professional teaching experience. I want to welcome you back to another solo overnighter. I'm expecting a 15 to 16 hour rainstorm to start any minute. So it's a literal race for me right now to get my hot tent up. That way I can stay dry for the next 15, 16 hours. Got to get that up really quick. Got to get firewood, got to get some dry tinder and get going.
I'm gonna set this up in here so you can see the absolute lap of luxury that I'm sleeping on tonight. Got my Tempur-Pedic camp mattress, courtesy of the U.S. Air Force when I was instructor for the Combat Control School. Got to keep it. "100% wool, ram's hide." Ooh. Surplus military green wool blanket, and I've sewed it up 2 sides into a rectangle, kind of like an insert, like a sleeping bag. I'm not expecting it to be that cold, so I'll probably use this as a pillow, but have it on standby in case my feet get cold. Pendleton wool blanket. That's gonna sleep real nice. Not to mention I have a wood stove for this, which I'll set up next. I have a lot of love for this wood stove. I think what I like most about it is all the pipe and accessories fit down inside here. So it just stores in this block. And this is really easy to take out when you're using a toboggan and snowshoeing in the winter, which is typically when I'm using this. Got my pipe, little shelf, and of course the damper. Damper first. Then I like to, on this shorter tent, put my angle in there. I can adjust the stove. The rest of this goes outside. All right, next sections. This shorter tent, I have a bigger tent. This shorter one, I like to send it out the side and kind of offset it away from the tent because it's so low. On the bigger tent, I run it straight up. Spark arrestor. All right, now I make a support to kind of take the weight off of this right here. The bank line, utility line, new GB2 Puko from LT Wright. Bushcraft survival knife perfection to me. This is my design. LT Wright makes it. Whoop, like butter. I'm doing arbor knot, overhand loop. This is the end I put the overhand in. So I'm going around the other leg, making other overhand around that. Then I'm just going to pull it tight until that first overhand jams into that second overhand. That's why sometimes this is called a jam knot. I call it the Bushcraft zip tie. Now I can just pop those out and I've got myself a bipod. Now I've got that weight sitting on this bipod rather than hanging on the stove. Check out this hotness I didn't show you earlier when I was setting up the stove. That is my water tank. So the stove just kind of passively heats the water. And then using that spigot, I can pull hot water off that any time. So when it comes time to make coffee or hot toddies or hot chocolate, what have you, that's ready to go. Pretty good pile of firewood right here. I'm only expecting about 50 to 60 degrees tonight. Between my wool blanket, being enclosed in a tent, my ninja suit, my sacred sleep socks. I don't even know if I'll need the wood stove, but it's better to be prepared for the worst possible conditions and not really rely on the weather forecast that much. When you think you have enough firewood to get through the night, you need 5 times more. So I've definitely got plenty. I don't know if I'll get to use this, but just in case the weather allows for it, this is what I'd prefer to cook dinner on. This is actually a flat pack fire pit that's made by my buddy Mikhail that owns Emberlit. You've probably heard of Emberlit stoves. So these are available now, but I've been using this one since I believe February or March of this year. Absolutely love having it. It's heavier. It's not something you're going to backpack in, but when you're doing like a big heavy camp like this, a comfy luxury camp like I'm doing, there's no sense in not bringing it. If the weather allows, I'll use it, but this is a custom grill that I just got for it. Absolutely love this. With any luck, we'll be cooking bacon and ribeyes on that later. But it's similar to the other flat pack stoves. Basically have a base and 4 pieces. Put my first panel in. Put this little guy in there. Then my grill sets this way, right up on top. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but there's holes around the top. This is actually a smokeless fire pit. I'll show you. All these holes around the top, and then you've got these cutouts right here. Those are air intakes along with these air intakes on the bottom side. It comes up, and this is actually a gasifier. So this is a smokeless fire pit. And then of course with the upgrade of the grill, I can cook my ribeyes and my bacon. The only problem is when you have the grill on, it won't gasify on those sides because these ports are kind of blocked a little bit, but it'll still gasify over here. So you will get a little bit of smoke, which I kind of want that on my ribeyes, honestly. My buddy Mikhail is the one that owns Emberlit. He designed this one recently. And again, I've been using this since March, at least this year. March of 2025. This thing's been excellent. I have it with me at every single course. It takes off like that. It stays lit. Does a great job. Gasifying, smokeless, absolute perfection. Love this thing. Definitely recommend if you can get a hold of one. Give you the quick tour. Of course, I've got my comfy bed. I got my poncho on standby in case I need to go out there. A little bit of tinder. Got some firewood for the night. My HearthFire set up out there along with the grill that hopefully I'll be cooking dinner on a little bit later. Got my wood stove with the shelf and hot water tank, and that shelf is a warming shelf so I can keep food warm on that. Of course, I've got my Paul Raven Steuben backpack with the 2 side pockets. This has got the built-in frame that acts as a chair. Everybody asked me, that's the only reason I'm telling you. Got a piece of pemmican for lunch. Admin corner, I've got my tripod and my Jackery that's charging my microphones and also my phone. Of course, I've got my Cookson water bottle. Got my axes hiding back there out of the rain. Ninja suit, sacred sleep socks, wool cap, comfy bed. Oh, and all my gear is hanging off a toggle right here where I can get to it. Extra water bottle, haversack, my belt kit, my bushcraft belt kit. And that's got my fire kit, my Puko, my Silky, and of course, always know where your headlamp is before the lights go out, and always know where your poncho is before it starts raining. Told you guys I was smoothing it in here. Also have bacon and ribeyes for dinner, so I've got that going for me, which is nice. I hear the rain's starting to hit, so I'm gonna batten down the hatches for a little bit and film what I can when I can. Not gonna lie, this is a pretty rough life out here. Took my shoes off, got my feet kicked up, listening to the rain. Hit a canvas tent with a big old pemmican muffin for lunch. Rough living, man. Got a little break in the rain. It's time to go exploring.
Found a handful of partridge berries right here. You can see that perfect one right here by my thumb with the 2 dots. And this is what the leaves look like.
I don't really need the food, but it's a good little snack right here. Kind of foamy, but they're not bad and they're plentiful. But I've got other food, so I'm gonna save the rest for the birds. I don't know how many times I've sat up on this rock. It's kind of my sit spot, and even during hunting season when I'm bow hunting, I'll hunt right up here. It's kind of a natural tree stand where I'm just able to kind of overlook this draw down here
There's a stream that runs through there. And you can barely make it out, but over that way is the upper part of that waterfall from last week's video. And the beavers have it dammed up like crazy. But anyway, I'm sitting up here on this cliff. You can see it a little better here. Creek kind of runs down through there, around this big bend right here. And it's trying to make its way to that waterfall, and then bam. There's a beaver dam right there. There's another one a little bit further up. You can see just kind of the leaves on top of the water. This water is just not moving. Came across the corner on this big yellow birch right here. Down here at the bottom of this. Look at that black goodness right there. That's all chaga. I'll try and break off a little piece. That's all chaga right there. Cool find. If you do find it and you want to use it for tea or whatever else you want to use it for, never take more than 1/4 of what's available, which is, you can see that's maybe 1/10 of what's available on this one. There you go. Beautiful piece of chaga. There's the second dam down there. It's getting a little no-go type terrain down in here. So I'm gonna go up and around and kind of get on the backside of it instead of try to get it through it this way. But look at this beautiful spruce right here. This tree is the Griswold family Christmas tree. Normally this is just rushing through here, but right now it's just kind of a trickle. Still some really cool big rock faces here. This is cool. I was up there, I came down, the water's actually coming underneath the rock instead of around it. It's going right underneath. It kind of disappeared up top where I just was. You can see how black these rocks are, and they're slick as can be too. So they kind of come out from under there. There's massive pool, or what's usually a massive pool, and then they're diving underneath this rock right here to continue on down. And when I say rock, I mean this is a massive rock. You can see where the water is usually pushing debris. Everywhere black down there is usually where the water line is. You can see that massive boulder right here. And it's pretty rough through here, not gonna lie. It's pretty steep. And these rocks are slick as can be with this little bit of drizzle rain we've got. Down there, right in there, that's where I filled up water last week. But I'm not gonna continue on that way with this slick rock, and it's just not a good idea. So I'm gonna get back up in the wood line and then make my way down that way. This is actually where I got water last time, right up there. But now you can see it's black and slick, and I mean slick. I felt like 2 times getting over here. It was too dark to do this last time, but you know, anytime I'm around wild water, you know, I kind of want to get in it. So I'm about to get in that spot right there. Woo! So slick, I'm afraid to let go. That's living right there. That water is cold. But, you know, wild water, get in it when you can get in it. There it is. My little bushcraft shower. I want to let myself dry and enjoy the invigorating cold that I just experienced. I think the stimulation to my skin is unbelievable. So if you're not into cold plunging, you might want to think about it. It's good for inflammation too. So I want to get dry, get dressed, head back to camp. I'm definitely happy to be back on dry land, terra firma. Let's just say I did not film coming out of there on purpose, because just getting in there, I slipped like 3 times. Got my shoes wet, but there's just no two ways about it. You kind of slip and you land in the water, and that's where you're at. So I knew I was going to do that several times just to get out. So I just kind of, as soon as I took the first slip, just kind of went in the water and just found my footing like a mountain goat on all fours, 4-wheel drive to get out of there. It's not very dignified, so I didn't film it on purpose. But yes, that's how that went down. All right, time to start prepping dinner. I got a little break in the rain, so I'm going to cook outside with any luck. I got a roaring fire of mostly oak going right now, because I need some coals to cook over, and I need to overcome the wetness in the rain. So I'm trying to kind of, it's bigger than it's going to be right now. I have got some bacon and a nice ribeye. Take a look at the fat on that. I'm going to season that up. My typical seasoning for my ribeyes, the fishy rub. A little seasoned salt. Nice good bit of seasoned salt on there. And then I'll come in with some adobo con pimienta with pepper. Get some of that on there. Flip it over. Might as well stick with the adobo since I got it in my hand. Seasoned salt. Sometimes I'll add a little more black pepper, a lot of black pepper. I just don't have any with me this time, so that'll be fine. Always pat it in, don't rub. I'm gonna season the side by just kind of cleaning off my grill with it. Get all that fat nice and salty, delicious. That'll do. I don't know if I need a whole half pound of bacon, but I kind of want a half pound of bacon. All right, there's the shot. Dry rub ribeye, some delicious bacon. Waiting on that to die down and give me some coals. Told you that thing takes off like crazy. Look at that gasifier is gasifying. No smoke. A little hot there in the middle still. Whew. Hot there too, boy. What? Starting to get a little fat dripping down in there and flaring up. Gotta watch it. Easy, buddy, easy. Giving it a few minutes. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a turn. Ooh, yep, that's hot. That's what I like to see. Just a little bit of a turn. Give it a few more minutes here. When I flip it over, I'll have the fat up towards the heat a little closer. Right now, this fat is just slowly rendering, which is perfect. That's what we're working with. That over there. Oh yeah, a little hot, but not shabby. Got a good sear on the outside. So far, so good. Give it a quarter turn. That fat perfect. All right, that's pretty good. Time to let this dude rest. About 10 or 15 minutes. All right, steak's rested. See what it looks like up in here. It's tender, that's for sure. A nice pink. I don't know about you, but I think that looks pretty good. See what it tastes like. One of my favorite shows to watch with my kids, Nacho Libre. Don't you want a little taste of the glory? I think it came out pretty good. Let's see what it tastes like, though. I don't. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The real indicator is how well did the fat render. That fat right there. Like butter. If you haven't eaten your ribeye off a fine piece of split oak hardwood firewood, I don't know how you're living your life. God. I don't know on camera, it looks like it might be overcooked. It's not. I mean, look at that fat on there. See that? Look at that. Look at that chunk of fat on top. How? Juices were flowing. All that fat right there. Oh, it's the best part, bro. Butter. Gone. Not chewy, not gristly. Perfect. I'm gonna eat the rest of this with my hands. God. That for me is the true test of every ribeye. How much is left on your plate when you're done eating? And I don't mean like getting full. I mean like, was there any gristly fat that didn't render properly? Or were you able to get through every single bite? Every single bite was cooked and or rendered properly, depending on if it's meat or fat. There's your answer right there. Perfect. Everybody wants to know what's in a kuksa, always. I had the same kuksa for like 6 years. A gentleman never tells. You know how this bacon turned out. It's not like I cooked it at home or anything. Not bad. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that bacon. I'm gonna do my best to save half of this for breakfast. Rain's coming down now. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm what you might call a poncho carrier and not a poncho wearer. Get that from the military. We always had to have a poncho and a rain jacket with us. Even had assigned pockets, so if you picked up somebody else's ruck, you'd know exactly where their rain jacket or their poncho is to then never use. We have 2 different types of rain gear in the military. 100% of the time, all the time. And we never used one of them. And here I am now. I got a poncho. You saw me go down to the waterfall today. I had a poncho. Raining the whole time. No. It's got to be pretty bad before I'm going to put on a poncho or a rain jacket. It's too bad that cotton kills. I'm probably going to die before I get a post vest. Flannel. cotton t-shirt underneath. What's that they say in Green Mile? Dead man walking, cotton in the woods. Dead man walking. Cotton doesn't kill. Getting wet and not being able to get dry and warm, that's what kills you. Doesn't matter if I'm wearing cotton, wool, or synthetics. If I get saturated and I can't get a fire and get dry, regardless of the clothing I'm wearing, it's hypothermia. I'm going to die from that. It doesn't matter that it's cotton. Synthetics and wool don't give you that big of an advantage. Let's be real here. Cotton doesn't kill. It's the inability to get a fire and get warm and get dry that kills. I am down to 4 pieces of bacon. I'm saving that for breakfast. It is coming down pretty good right now. I'm assuming you can hear this. It's getting dark. Had a great adventure today. Enjoyed the cold dip in the waterfall. Had a great ribeye, some good bacon. And the ribeye was pristine. It was chef's kiss. It was perfect. Loved it. I transferred some wood from here into the wood stove. Thick white smoke happening right now, so that's about to take off any time. Looking forward to getting dried off from today. Super rainy day. Next week, I'm heading down to Uwharrie National Forest in North Carolina. I'll be down there for 2 weeks. I'm teaching a Master Navigator course, and I'm also teaching my primitive survival course. I'll try to capture some footage there, and I'll try to get it uploaded so that you have something. Saturday, 8 a.m., that's the new time for long form videos to be released. And I'm gonna try to release another short form video on Wednesdays, most likely, get past that hump day. Just a reminder that I am making a push towards 1 million subscribers, that gold play button from YouTube. And it takes every single one of you. Last week's video was great. Had over 1,000 subscribers from just that video alone. I'd like to keep that trend going. So every one of you matters. Please like, subscribe, comment. That really does help the algorithm. Usually within the first 24 hours, I'm on there interacting with you. If you comment, I'll comment back or answer you back. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, be notified the next time that I put one of these overnighters out or any other video that I put out. Because of your support, I'm able to do this for a living, right? And I don't take that lightly. This is something that I get to come out and do 7 days a week if I want to. And I couldn't do that if people weren't interested in watching what I'm doing. So I really appreciate your support. Your subscription means a lot to me. Your likes, your comments mean a lot to me. So let's all pull together and make that run towards 1 million subscribers. Being able to come out here and just enjoy the wilderness and share skills, share knowledge, share experience. That's no small thing. And I understand that there's very few of us that get this privilege. And we get this privilege because of your subscriptions. So thank you again for your support. And yeah, I just want to make sure that you know that it does mean a lot to me. It is coming down outside, so I got everything done just in time. I got my ninja suit on. I'm in my hot tent. I'm high and dry. The wood stove's going. Fire outside's dying out. So I'm gonna get tucked in and go to sleep. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night, YouTube.
All right, situation update. It is just after 3 a.m. I had to damper the stove all the way down and open the door up wide as I'm still in ranger panties. Not even sacred sleep socks. It is so hot in here. No ninja suit, no sacred sleep socks, which is nice because I actually tried these out. I haven't even had to use a blanket yet. But you can hear it kind of stopped raining. It's still overcast outside. I hear a drop coming out of the trees once in a while, but that's it. But gonna get me some more sleep. 7 a.m. Starting to get light outside. I'm not in a hurry, so I just hit the snooze button. Check this out. Hot coffee doesn't get much more instant than that. Check that firewood situation. Still had a few more strokes of the old wood stove.
Thanks for joining me on this adventure, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Remember, I'm making that push to 1 million subscribers, and that takes every single one of you. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified the next time one of these adventures comes out, and you'll be helping me get closer and closer to that 1 million subscribers. Remember to leave no trace, and hope to see you in the woods.